Hey, what is up, Pep Nation? It is week number 12. We're on our horizontal power day, day number 1. We did our linear speed first, then we went straight into our French contrast training. Man, we got after it today. Hope you guys are too. Let's get it. So we started off the workout with a standard dynamic warm, just making sure we get some blood flow, get a little loose, get a little bit of mobility, and then we're ready to go into our activation and preparation exercises. After our activation, we started off with the wall series. We did the wall piston step, then we did the hip pull through. After that, we did the quick switches, and finally finished off with the pull through to that quick triple piston step. After the wall series, we did our arm mechanics with the knee down, just again 50, 75, and 100, just getting those arms right and ready for our sprints. And then we went straight into a new exercise, just working on the speed and strength of hip flexion. It's such an underutilized exercise and something that a lot of sprinters, a lot of athletes miss out on. We did the band resisted knee drives. It was 5 seconds max effort and a couple of sets. Okay, so for this week's linear speed programming, what we started off with was 3 exercises that prepare the whole hip complex, the hamstring, the calves, pretty much everything that you use in that initial acceleration phase. We started off with our standard, our game-changing exercise. That's that single leg step through on the slant board against the band with a little bit of hip flexion and stepping up onto the box. After that, we did quick banded hip thrust. So this was a part of our French contrast series last week. We've added it to the mechanic series, just working on really quick hip flexion. You'll see that what we're doing here today is all about really quick hips and not stopping at any point. You're gonna go through your reps there. And finally, our last mechanics exercise, just to get those hamstrings firing, you wanna make sure that the toe is towards the shin, so you're dorsiflexing that ankle, and then we're gonna fire those hamstrings as quick as possible with the hamstring kickers for 5 seconds. After that, you're gonna rest for 2 minutes, and then we're gonna go straight into our 10-yard accelerations. It's still 3 sets, but we've added 2 more exercises here. That's why we want that rest. We wanna be nice and active before we're getting into our acceleration. Onto our French contrast method of training for our horizontal power. So we started off with the barbell hip thrust. So it's still the same number of sets and reps for this, but you want to make sure that you're going just a little bit heavier, add a little bit of that overload. After the barbell hip thrust, we worked on quick explosiveness through the hips. So we're going to take a light med ball here and do our depth jump into our wall med ball hip throw. Really trying to work on exploding through the hips, jumping a little bit forward and trying to throw that ball as fast and as hard as you possibly can. Our third exercise in this series, we're back to the kettlebell swings. Again, you want to be using a relatively light band, but we want that band to pull you back really quick, and then you're going straight into the concentric phase with a quick turnaround every single rep. All right, guys, in our fourth exercise, a little bit more of an aggressive, progressed plyometric than last week. What we're gonna go ahead and be doing here is we're doing a pogo hop over the mini hurdle, straight onto the box, thinking about quick, springy muscles, really working through the ankle joint there. Then you're gonna go into a depth jump to a broad jump, all in one exercise, really trying to make sure that the first portion is nice and quick. After the depth jump, we're loading and exploding through that broad jump. And onto our accessories now. So what we're gonna go ahead and do here is we're doing the cable rotation. So again, if you don't have access to a cable machine, you can use the band for this. We've added a little bit of a twist this week. We're gonna make it a little more challenging. Instead of being in that split stance, now you're gonna go ahead and drop into a split squat stance or a reverse lunge. Then in the bottom of that reverse lunge, you're gonna come all the way across your body, really squeeze those obliques and then come straight back. Onto our last accessory here, we're going with the Swiss ball single leg hamstring curl with the opposite leg hip flexion. Again, underutilized as an exercise. We really want to make sure we have that strength of hip flexion while we're also working the opposite side posterior chain through the glute and the hamstring. Okay guys, that was a great workout today. We're back into the grind of week 12. We're almost near the end of the program. We should be seeing those results skyrocket by the time we get to that testing week. Let's just make sure we're getting after it. Every step, every rep. Let's get it.